Hey guys, it's Abby Vlogs, and I'm here with another live. Now, I know this is a different way of how I'm doing my live, but I was going to do a live last night, but then I started having a tummy ache, and turns out that tummy ache was the start of my monthly. So I'm in day 2 of my monthly, so that's why I am currently sitting up in my bed and not on my floor like I normally am. So, with that, I am going to be reading chapter 9 of the Harry Potter, the unofficial Harry Potter Companion, Sorcerer's Stone, Volume 1. So, yeah, I'll be doing chapter 9 tonight, and then depending on how I feel tomorrow, I might be doing another live tomorrow, but if not, I'll be doing it Tuesday because I have to reschedule my little hang out with my friend until next Friday because she works on Tuesday. So, yeah. So, let's get into it. Chapter 9 The Midnight Duel. During their first flying lesson, the first years discover pairing the Gryffindors with the Slytherins for lessons makes for an inevitable disaster. Harry gets his first taste of standing up to a bully and gets rewarded with an unusual twist of fate. He also finds a particular talent in flying that will serve him very well and give him a new passion to pursue. An unhappy and jealous Draco challenges Harry to a duel to lay a trap and get him in trouble. But when Harry, Ron, Hermione, and Neville find themselves fleeing the scene, Draco becomes the least of their worries. After all, who keeps a three-headed dog in a school full of children? Harry's instant dislike of Draco Malfoy sets the tone for the type of hero he will be throughout the books. Within the first week of the school year, we are told Harry hates Draco even more than Dudley, a boy who bullied him throughout his childhood, despite the fact that Harry's had few interactions with a Slytherin student. Draco's prejudice and evident glee at others' misfortune have said enough about his character for Harry to declare him a nemesis. In doing so, Harry becomes a champion of the underdog, a character who will fight against injustice and aid those less fortunate. We have reached the middle point of this book and the turning point in which Harry evolves from a follower to a leader. By now, he has learned enough about the wizarding world to settle in and build his confidence. From this chapter on, while still constantly learning, Harry will start to make his own choices and act on his own opinions and values to protect all he holds dear. In fact, this chapter will exemplify the heroic traits of all three of our golden trio, though they are not yet in sync with each other or working as a unit. They each have their strengths and weaknesses, which will grow to complement each other in time. The chapter begins with one of the clearest examples of privilege held by those who have grown up in the wizarding world. Harry, Hermione, and the Muggle-born first years have never experienced Quidditch. Several students spend the days before their first official flying lesson telling stories about flying around the countryside, with several of these tales suggesting breaches of the statute of secrecy. It may be that these are tall tales designed to impress their new peers, regardless of experience. All first years attend flying lessons to learn proper form. Sadly, this lesson does not go well for Neville. When his nerves get the better of him, he loses control of his broom and breaks his wrist, forcing Madame Hooch to pause the lesson while she accompanies him to the hospital wing for treatment. He drops his Remembrall in the process, which Malfoy quickly grabs, using it to taunt Harry. When Harry stands up to Malfoy in defense of Neville attempts to recover the stolen Remembrall, Harry discovers he has a natural talent for flying on a broomstick. We later learn Sirius gifted Harry a toddler toy broom on the occasion of his godson's first birthday, so it's not too much of a stretch to assume Harry's balance and coordination on a broom could have feasibly developed alongside his ability to walk. His ability to catch a Remembrall thrown by Malfoy, however, proves that Harry does have a natural skill. Like a true sportsman, he can anticipate the path of the ball with accuracy and swiftly intercepts it. Throughout the books, Harry's friendships and teamwork play a large role in his success, but his role as a seeker counts as a true independent talent of which he can be proud. It is not surprising then that this impressive display of raw skill threatens Malfoy to the point where he lays a trap to get Harry into trouble, though it's Ron's heroic quality, loyalty, that ultimately creates an issue. Compelled to defend his friends, Ron agrees to the terms of Malfoy's wizard's duel, despite the fact that all three lack experience in the subject. His bravado follows a similar pattern to Harry's actions with the Remembrall earlier in the day, though it's utilized in defense of Harry's pride rather than Neville's character. As such, Ron's actions are less heroic in that he is intervening in a fairly equal battle of words rather than protecting a vulnerable party. The situation also speaks to Malfoy's character, as he is happy to insult others but panics when his intended victims answer back. When night falls, it is Hermione's turn to attempt to be a hero and stand up for her beliefs. Knowing about Harry and Ron's plans for the duel, she attempts to warn them off, appealing to Harry personally, as she is already conscious of Ron's opinion of her getting in the way. She is aware that her behavior is irritating others and may consider Harry an ally of sorts after he suggested Snape should acknowledge her in the previous chapter. As a character motivated by recognition and success, she values Harry's attempt to have Snape recognize her knowledge, but the idea of others risking her chances of winning the House Cup is difficult to fathom, especially when she is struggling to make friends. Hermione knows the cup means a lot to Gryffindor and may think gaining points might help her make friends by protecting the points and therefore the success of the house. Hermione is attempting to apply intellect to achieve a greater good. Unfortunately, she gets carried away and fails to pay attention to her surroundings. Trapped outside the dorm thanks to the absence of the fat lady, the trio are joined by Neville, whose return from the hospital wing was scuppered by a recent change to the portrait password. What follows is a series of 3 challenges, the first of many nighttime encounters with Filch and Mrs. Norris, a run-in with Peace, and finally their first interaction with Fluffy, the 3-headed dog. All 3 problems are solved by simply fleeing the scene, showing that our heroes have yet to gain the experience needed to attempt to stand their ground. But Hermione's closing observation of the trapdoor beneath the 3-headed dog is our first glimpse of the potential that this team holds. Hermione's intellect, Ron's courage, Harry's instinct, and even Neville's caution will play a part in their eventual success in this book and the rest of the series if they don't first get killed or worse expelled. First mentions are Oliver Wood and Fluffy. Ring theory. Chapter 9 is both the numeric middle of the book and the plot's turning point. It acts as a small circle in and of itself, with the proposed duel between Draco and Harry taking place at midnight. How many parallels can you find in this single chapter? Timeline. September 7th to the 12th. September 7th to the 11th, the Wizarding-born first years share their childhood Quidditch stories. September 12th, breakfast. Neville receives a Remembrall from his grandmother. 3:30 p.m., the Gryffindor and Slytherin first years attend their first flying lesson, where Neville immediately panics and breaks his wrist. Malfoy finds Neville's Remembrall and taunts Harry into flying after him. Professor McGonagall, having seen him fly, takes Harry to meet Oliver Wood. And then here's the pages. Beyond the books. Flying is the one thing Draco Malfoy thought he would be best at in his year, so when the Slytherins are paired with the Gryffindors for compulsory flying practice, Draco feels the need to showboat in front of the famous Harry Potter. His envy ends up getting the better of him, though, since the stunt helps secure Harry's spot as Seeker on the Gryffindor Quidditch team. Did you know? Oliver Wood, who we meet in this chapter, shares a dormitory with Percy Weasley. Percival is a popular Percival is a very popular fandom ship. Percival is a ship between Percy and Oliver, which I completely support. I actually really like that ship. That ship is like one of my favorites. It's not common, but you don't see it commonly, but it's actually a nice. Well, it says it's very popular, but I haven't seen it in a while, so Plus, I haven't read any ships about or read any fanfics about that. Timeline: September 12th to the 13th. Dinner. Harry tells Ron that he has been made Seeker of the Gryffindor Quidditch team. Malfoy challenges Harry to a Wizard's duel at midnight. 11:30 p.m. Harry and Ron sneak out of Gryffindor Tower followed by Hermione, who had tried to stop them, and Neville, who had been stuck outside. September 13th, midnight. Malfoy doesn't show up, but Filch does, forcing the friends to flee, hiding from Filch and Peeves. The first years discover Fluffy in the forbidden third-floor corridor. From the podcast, Hufflepuffs and Slytherins can always get into their common rooms as long as they know the passwords. Not so simple, though, as for Gryffindors who have this barrier and Ravenclaws who have to guess some riddle. Why is this set up differently? Why this something decided on by the was this something decided on by the founders, or was it later? Caleb said this in episode 4 of Alohomora, which is their podcast. Did you know Fred and George mention a secret passageway located behind the statue of Gregory the Smarmy and head off to explore it with Lee? We will hear about Gregory again in Book 5 when the twins set up their portable swamp in his corridor. Consider this. When McGonagall takes Harry to meet Wood, he thinks she's referring to a cane that she will use on him as punishment. Is this proof that the Dursleys physically abused Harry? Actually, I think it does prove that the Dursleys physically hurt Harry. Ring theory. Harry hops onto a broomstick for the first time at Hogwarts, but not for the first time in his life. This moment is paralleled in Book 7 when Harry finds a torn photograph of his 1-year-old self on a broomstick. His parents taught him to fly, and that is likely why it comes so naturally for Harry in this chapter. Did you know Fluffy is often compared to Cerberus, a multi-headed dog in Greek mythology who guards the underworld and prevents the dead from leaving? How fitting, then, that Fluffy should guard the stone and a pathway to eternal life. Fandom. In the film adaptation, when Neville receives his Remembrall, he isn't wearing robes. It is widely believed they are what he forgot. Alas, they are on the bench next to him, and we never do find out what he left behind. Fandom. Once upon a time, there was a fun, although adamantly far-fetched theory that Mrs. Norris is Filch's wife in Animagus form. The Fantastic Beasts series caused a slight transformation in the myth, and now many believe that Mrs. Norris suffers from a blood curse or malediction. The author has sadly rebuffed both theories. Consider this. Neville receives a Remembrall from his gran in this chapter. If the smoke turns red to indicate you forgot something but doesn't help you remember what you forgot, how is this a helpful object? I personally think it isn't helpful if it doesn't tell you if it doesn't tell you what you forgot. Did you know this is the first time we see the Alohomora spell, the namesake of our podcast? Because Hermione uses it on the door to unlock the third floor corridor. And that is all that we are getting into in this live stream. It's a very short It's a very short one this time. It's a very short live stream this time, but let me see if I can. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. I'm gonna put this over here since I'm gonna be doing this from. Oops, sorry. I did get something new. I got it at Walmart. Oh my god. It is this Funko Bitty Pop Rides Harry Potter and Hogwarts Express. I got it at Walmart for $3.50 because these were on sale for $3.50 rather than like $5. So yeah, I got this, which I actually really like. Oh, and I on YouTube. I've been watching people react to the Scream movies because I've never seen them. I do want to get the DVDs for them because I do want to actually watch them because I want to see what the I just want to see what the hype is about. I've already watched the people watch the first one, and oh my god, it was so good. I loved Matthew Lillard's and Skeet Ulrich's characters in that movie, who are Matthew Lillard plays Stu Matcher or Stu Macher or Stu Macher. That's how it's pronounced. I keep wanting to say Stu Matcher. Oh, it's Stu Macher, who is played by Matthew Lillard, obviously, and Billy Loomis, who is played by Skeet Ulrich. And I saw it on TikTok, like just this morning or yesterday or something like that, where it when Matthew Lillard was at a con or something. It was of this con of the panel, and he confirmed, and even the director confirmed, I think he was saying that in a way, Billy and Stu were in a relationship because a lot of people shipped them together, and Matthew Lillard even said himself that he had a crush on Skeet Ulrich's character Billy. So, and he went on this talk about how saying that people wanted to see them together, their characters together, because it makes the community feel seen and not be pushed away from who they really are. So yeah, I don't remember what the TikTok was called, but you can search it up on TikTok, and it'll probably pop up somewhere. So yeah, I'm gonna end that stream here, and I'll see you guys in the next stream. Hopefully tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then Tuesday. So bye bye. Bye guys.